This is the first Swolemates Update. So we're coming to you together instead of zooming in different areas of the house.
And yes, and I'm laying on the floor.
So I'm Holly. This is Luke.
I'm Luke.
You probably know us, maybe, if you followed my channel. So we thought we would come on here and just kind of give a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, some kind of update, sort of as an accountability thing. But just kind of like to let you know, if you're following along, where we are and what's going on. So it has been 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks since you competed. 3 weeks since Luke competed. So his first check-in progress pictures were today, since the show. So anyway, it's kind of really good to, to do these things. If you follow me, you've probably heard me say, you kind of got to keep track with what's going on, or things will, especially post-competition, get way out of hand really quickly. And so this is something that I've been trying to teach Luke. And you don't really see it. Like if you are coming off a competition, you will tend to, you want all of the things, right, that you haven't been able to eat for months. And what happens a lot is you will just kind of go overboard, off the deep end with eating all of the foods and not really seeing what it's doing to you, especially like dependent on the time of the year, right? Because if it's like, if it's getting colder, if it's getting colder too, and you're covering up, you're like, you don't look at it, you don't see it.
You're
like
not tracking what you're doing too, man. You have no idea what you're eating. If you could pack it in, you could eat 5,000, 6,000 calories a day. You have no idea what you're doing. You're just starving to death, and you're coming out of this survival mode. You gotta make sure you hold yourself accountable, or I've done it.
Yeah, you could easily get thousands. I mean, at least hundreds, maybe even thousands more calories than you think that you're getting if you're not tracking or anything like that. So anyway, we took the progress pictures today, did measurements and stuff. So he's 3 weeks from his competition. I don't know how many weeks I am for, like, I haven't started my prep yet, but my plan is April of next year. So I'm close to starting. So I have been taking progress pictures and stuff for a long time. And even though I don't like them, they're not fun. Nobody likes them. I mean, I don't know anybody that likes them, but you have to do them anyway, right? It just helps you to look and compare. And like, I can't see it myself in the mirror. I don't look at myself in the mirror long enough, but if I take progress pictures, I can kind of analyze, I guess, a little bit better. But anyway, so that's kind of where we are right now for him and where I am. But I wanted to kind of do just like, this is an update. What do you have to, I guess maybe like since the competition. So it's been 3 weeks. So what has been hardest for you? Like what has been your experience since the competition?
Trying not to eat everything. Man, I'm hungry all the time. Some days I'm pretty good and I hit my goals. Some days I do not hit my goals, but I do track everything, which is much different than my last competition, where I just went off the deep end, and I went from 180 pounds to 250 pounds. And I wasn't, I mean, I didn't weigh myself at all in any of that. I finally got on a scale at some point in there and was like, holy cow.
So how long do you think, how long did you, I mean, okay, so we're talking, when was it? 2018?
2018, December of 2018.
Okay, so from December of 2018, 180 to 250. How long did it take you to get there?
I guess about 2 years.
So during that whole time, but do you remember, like, right after the show, did you put on a whole lot really quickly?
Yeah, I went back and looked at my Fitness Pal, and so I did weigh myself a couple times in there, but not very often. And so it's like, I think it was like 2 weeks after the show, I'd gained like 20 pounds.
I weighed a couple of times in 2 years. That's all.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like 2 weeks after I competed.
Like
I
20
weighed
pounds.
myself 17 pounds.
Yeah.
I put on 17 pounds in 2 weeks.
I mean, I think it's pretty common. Like, okay, because like,
but this is we're 3 weeks. I'm 3 weeks after a show right now, and I weighed 185 pounds on show day.
So 10 pounds.
And I weigh 195 pounds today. So I mean, it's 10 pounds, but that's better than 20 pounds.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I was going to say is I think it's really common, you know, because like when you're on show day, you're really depleted anyway. So I think it's really common to jump up like at least 5 pounds, like the week after, like even a few days after, you're going to add, because like you're replacing like all the lost stuff because you were so depleted. And so I think 5 pounds is about normal. And so like you're not much more than that.
Yeah.
And plus, like you're still under 8% body fat, which we measured today, which is really good. And so you've been really hungry though. And like what else? Like, because I know with your training,
I jumped right back into the gym and injured myself, so that's been fun. Injured my back, and then just injured it again, and been trying to I've been trying to take it easier, but I mean, she'll tell you I'm not going to take anything easy.
But what would you tell someone watching? Like, what have you learned that, like, maybe somebody who's competing for their first time, what would you tell them they need to be aware of after the show? What should they do that maybe you didn't do?
If you're competing for the first time, you come out of a show, I would definitely do something modified in the gym. You're not gonna lose anything.
Well, you're not at the place either. I mean, you're not that you're ready to gain again.
Your body is not in a place at all. It's in like gym purgatory.
And who tried to say that?
I mean, you're gonna need
who said that in this situation?
You're not gonna go in there and kill it. I went right back in and I was killing it, and I was like, wow, I can't believe how much I'm still in here doing. This is crazy. And the following week, my body went, that was your one get out of jail free card week, and now you're gonna hurt. And I did. I went right in there again, week 2, and did something horrible to my lower back. And I don't injure myself in the gym. So that was like, yeah. And I still tried to push.
What have you learned?
I still, because I heard it doing so I may have set the stage for injuring it doing squats on the first week, and then the second week I was doing safety bar squats, and I injured it a little bit on my second set, and then was like, oh, I can add weight. And yeah, it did work at all.
That's what you don't want to do.
And then the third leg day, I can't really say weeks, because I'm basically doing like push pull legs off. And so third leg day, I went back to doing back squats again, and my back was like, yeah, no, that's not happening.
Wrong.
And it was just standard back squats. I couldn't even go down. So what I ended up doing was the one gym we go to, Elite, in Roanoke, he's got a heel wedge. So I was using that just to hit depth, because my back wouldn't let me do it, and I still put too much weight on and still hurt it. And yeah, and I haven't squatted since.
Okay, so here's I think the key here is like when you are that depleted and you come off a show, you really need like a recovery period and a plan like to slowly come back up, because like, okay, first of all, your calories need to increase in order to like have enough, I feel like, energy to support your workouts, right? And like you weren't even there. No. You just went like balls to the wall back in the gym, and like your body wasn't even recovered from the show yet.
Yeah,
so
I was only eating 3,000 calories a day, but we did do a big challenge in there, and it was like, I think, well, we had a big meal right after the show. We went to a nice fancy place and had a lot of calories, and I think that helped. But see, it's like you have a really, really, really big meal or something right after your show, and I think those will fuel some workouts, and you'll feel great, right? But then once you go back into like you're actually tracking what you're doing, and you're hitting some goal, like my goal at the time was 3,000, and now I'm up at 3,200 calories. It's still not enough, and your body is really trying to fix all of its hormones and everything else going on with it, and you're just not in a place. And you're gonna feel great. You're gonna have a great workout maybe a day after, 2 days after that big meal, and then, you know, even if you have a couple cheat meals in there or just days where you just go over, you're gonna have a good day after, and then the day after that, you're not gonna be good anymore. So you really have to have a much easier plan, I think, coming out of a show. It might take a week, it might take 2 weeks, it might take 3 weeks.
I mean, it you know, sometimes it takes months for like hormones and everything to get back to where it's at, for, you know, where it needs to be for you to like go back into, you know, a building kind of phase.
Yeah, you're not going to build probably for a while, but you're gonna set yourself up for hurting yourself, and
you can't just jump back in. Don't try to jump back in to where you were. Like if you look at what you did before the competition, you know, yes, ideally when you're in prep and you're getting ready to go to a competition, ideally you want to still lift as heavy as you can, but you're still going to like be in that depleted mode. So you are going to lose a little bit of strength. And so it's like afterwards, I think you're still, your body's just not where it needs to be to try to like start adding on like a bunch of like, and you can get back to where you were, I think, faster if you have that proper recovery time, you know, and don't just try to, even though you feel good and you might be ready to go back, just don't jump right back in.
Yeah.
So anyway, so right now you are on, you said like a push-pull leg split. So like push-pull or pull-push legs off, and then you just repeat it, right? But you have like an A and a B plan.
Yeah, that's the plan. When I actually start going back and really like doing it, because I kind of started out with that. So it was like was it like pull, push legs off, and then I kind of, when I hurt my back, and then I've been trying to sort of modify it or whatever and come back a little bit. But once I actually go back and start, which will be tomorrow I'm off. So Tuesday I'm going to try and actually go back and start doing the plan. And it'll be legs, push, pull, and we'll see what happens. I might have to modify my original scheme a little bit because it was a lot of workout stuff in there. So I think I'm going to do a quad leg day, and I might hit just some hamstring curls in there too, and then I'll have a hamstring day. So it'll be basically quads, and then a push, and then a pull, and then a ham, and a push and a pull.
And so you're right now about three days of cardio, maybe three sessions of cardio a week, which is down from his show
twice daily.
Yeah, like probably 60 minutes a day, or more at that point. So that's been cut a whole lot, but still trying to keep in a minimum amount, I think, is important. Like probably the last show you just like stopped all cardio.
Yeah, all cardio. I stopped everything.
Yes.
I stopped tracking food. I stopped weighing myself.
Eat everything. Stop all the cardio. So this is what cardio. You don't want to do. I think I don't know, like for me, cardio is somewhat of a mental kind of a thing too. Like, so I do it, obviously you want to have a minimal amount for like cardiovascular health, but also like for me, it kind of keeps me, I don't know. It's like if I'm like riding this bike back here in the mornings, like I'll usually do at least 3 mornings a week. It's sort of like my planning time too, because you can do a lot of multitasking on a recumbent bike.
I just watch Netflix.
You just watching it, but like I'll go through emails and do all my stuff, or if I have to respond to clients or when I'm planning for the day, it kind of gives me time to like organize things. So now he has to get off of his stomach. He's been there too long.
I'm sitting, laying down on my stomach for.
Anyway, so we're on a totally different workout plan as well. Like we don't ever really have the same workouts. But we do go to the gym sometimes together. So sometimes. So this is just like a glimpse into the life of the fitness couple, I guess. The bodybuilding couple, whatever we are. So, he does all of the meat cooking.
Competitive bodybuilders. She's been doing this for decades.
Yeah. That could be questioned. But so he preps food. I take his food. You can have some chicken. Yeah. I try to not. I will try to avoid all that. But
I offer her chicken all the time, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll get some of that."
I'll have like 2 ounces.
She does not eat very much.
I think I got chickened out for so long, but I think that we being together in the same house, even though we don't do all the same stuff together and we don't do the same workout plan, we talk about stuff a lot. So I think that that's helpful, right? I don't know. What do you think? I feel like it's important.
It is. I think it is helpful. And I mean, we bounce ideas off of each other all the time. I think I bounce more ideas off of her than she bounces off of me. But she'll ask me my opinion on stuff. It makes me feel important that the guru over here is asking me stuff. Like, well, here's what I would do. And of course, we're both pretty strong-willed, so we usually completely ignore what the other one says until we figure out.
I think it goes more like that's you ignoring me.
No, that's like, I think she does it too.
No, I don't.
Yeah, but anyhow, it really does. It helps, and it really helps that we both have done competitions. And we've actually prepped together, and I get asked that a lot. Like, you guys ever prep together? Like, actually, the very first show I ever did, we both prepped for the same show, and it wasn't that terrible in the house. I mean, with two competitors in prep at the same time. But I think it helps. Like, now we've done staggered shows, and it helps like me. Like, if you live with another competitor, it helps because you both understand exactly how miserable you're going to get. So you're going to say stuff and do stuff that's, I don't know, mean or stupid. The other person's going to be like, that's okay, because they're in prep. As long as that's why you're doing it, it's not just because you're being a dick. You know, that helps, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm coming from a place, like I have a lot of clients who live with somebody, or, they're in a relationship, and the other person does not get it at all. And then I have other clients who like they're with somebody and they get it, but it's almost like they're against it in a way, so being with a person who not only gets it but does it, even if you never did it again, or even if I never did it again, like you get it. And I think it's easier to be supportive when you've gone through it. But even just, I'm so appreciative of that understanding, that you have, and thankful just to be, you know, to be around somebody that, is encouraging and not, it's so hard to do this if you have somebody who's trying to pull you in the other direction. Like, it's impossible. If you're with somebody who just wants to eat everything and drink everything and go out and party and all that stuff, and just trying to get you to do that, and you're trying to choose this lifestyle over here of bodybuilding, cutting, prepping. I mean, and I've been there. Like, it's hard. Like, it's really hard. It's not gonna be fun. So I think maybe, what would you tell somebody who was in that situation? Like, if I was, like, if I was not me, like if you had a friend, like say I'm your friend, and, or whatever, I'm asking you, well, what am I supposed to do when I'm with this person who I'm trying to be this one way like you are? Like, you're my best friend and I want to be like you, but my wife sucks and she wants me to go out and drink and she wants me to do all this stuff and I don't want to do that. How am I supposed to like get her to understand?
You're never going to get her to understand. Not ever. Just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any advice for that because I've never had to deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't have any. I can't, because I've never had to do that. I've never had somebody else that was like in competition. In this relationship, when it pertains to competitions or whatever, it's not like you're running off to go drink or anything.
I'm drinking every day.
I mean, like I've like I've prepped through Thanksgiving. That was rough. I've prepped.
I think I've prepped most through Easter. And like, when my mom always had Easter Sunday dinner, there were many times that I was prepping at that time. And, I come from a place where my family they never got the whole bodybuilding, especially like competitive thing. Like, yeah. And this, like, nobody understood. It wasn't, I mean, it took my mom years to even stop saying, Holly, why are you doing this? And then once, it took a long time, but she finally like stopped asking me that because she knew that that's what I was going to do. Right. So like if I brought my scale to Easter and I was logging stuff and weighing stuff, she never questioned me anymore. But it was years of, why do you do this to yourself? Why? So it's good if you have somebody that gets it, for sure. Or if you don't, there are all kinds of, there's probably a lot of people going through it too. Yeah. Like, that you could find support, for what you're doing, and having a friend who gets it, or, just whatever. You really have to have some kind, like, I have made a lot of friends, like in competition, like people that I've met at competitions over the years. Um, I've got friends from over 10 years ago that I met at shows that we still talk, so once you are kind of in that, you will find people who get it. And even though, like, I have friends who competed 10 years ago that don't do it anymore, I could still talk to them about it. So anyway, I think that's kind of about what we wanted to talk about for our update, just kind of where we are,
Yeah,
what
she's
we're
getting
doing.
ready to start. I'm deciding what I'm gonna do.
I'm going in, he's coming out. We'll see how it goes. Like I should probably be starting in December. I think my plan is I'm probably going to be doing a competition Easter weekend, I think. So see how that goes. Anyway, I think that's about it for the update. Anything you want to add? So if y'all have questions like about what's it like to I don't know, any kind of questions about like what's it like as bodybuilders living together, or any kind of questions related to that, or training, or what we're doing, or something we maybe didn't answer, we'll do periodic updates, and I will put our progress pictures and stuff on there. Like, we can share our current
Well, how can they reach us?
calories and macros and whatnot.
Ask questions.
So you can ask questions on the YouTube, like you can ask below. Post your questions in the comments, and we can use those for future updates.
Yeah.
So, and be sure to subscribe, and then whatever is on my YouTube channel for us on our Swolemates update will also be in our Swolemates podcast. So same information, basically. If you want to listen instead of watching, you can do it on that route as well. So
I imagine that if this grows any and we keep doing this, we'll probably shoot, I was gonna say something. Anyhow, we'll probably be more scripted, like we just kind of came down here tonight because it was like, oh man,
we're just winging it.
This. Yeah, so this was totally,
that's okay.
We didn't have a topic or anything. So
spontaneous.
We could probably be better at that too. We'll
let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
It always helps us. It helps me to know like what you want to know. So the more comments I can get, the better. And anyway, we will see you back on the next update.